Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truth.org. Today is February 8th, 2026. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears the CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland is going to stage a Defcon-Level event during the live broadcast of Super Bowl XL in Santa Clara, California, on the evening of February 8th between the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. Said Defcon-Level event is specifically designed to assassinate U.S. President Donald J. Trump, spawn a second global biological pandemic, and/or trigger World War III. Before I get into the top 10 scenarios that are likely planned for this evening, I just want to highlight the fact that I published a book back on January 28th of 2011 entitled The Nuclear Bible, about a false flag, Al-Qaeda 9/11 style nuclear terror attack targeting the Super Bowl in Dallas, Texas, Super Bowl XLV between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Green Bay Packers. This plot was foiled, and I subsequently applied for political asylum in Switzerland, and therefore we know that the CIA is going to target the Super Bowl because this is the single most watched event in history, historically, with streaming and internet capabilities upwards of likely 1 billion viewers this evening, which is about to kick off in about a half an hour. So we know they're going to seize upon this opportunity and terrorize humanity with the goal of spawning a second global biological pandemic and/or triggering World War III. So the following scenarios are the top 10 most likely scenarios that are going to be executed at the behest of the CIA, most likely by the Israeli Mossad, the Israeli Navy, and/or the Israeli Air Force, which is the dagger. That's why Israel is shaped in the form of a dagger, because it's being used by Switzerland to stab the world in the heart. And they plan on doing so this evening during the live broadcast of the aforementioned football game. So firstly, and these don't include all plots that I've identified, but they're the ones that are the biggest and the blinking red on every level. Number one is an asteroid, comet, meteor, or meteorite-based impact event targeting planet Earth as pretext for a space-based contagion and subsequent global pandemic, and/or a escalating wave of explosive and direct energy weapon-induced man-made earthquake, tsunami, and volcanic eruptions around the world. This evening, or in the morning of the 9th, they're going to target the African Union headquarters, which is this massive complex, which is built in, I believe it's ADDIS, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. And so if you look at, it's located directly in the Horn of Africa, just behind Somalia. Number two is an alien disclosure event. The CIA has all sorts of advanced capabilities, and so they plan on staging an Independence Day-like event with huge aircraft that we can't even imagine the size of, hovering over cities, and then they plan to use direct energy weapons to disintegrate said cities, and then they'll probably spawn a second global biological pandemic that they'll claim was due to the aliens. And in this particular evening, I believe that one of the reasons why they chose the grounds of Santa Clara as the location for the new stadium for the San Francisco 49ers is so that they could stage an alien event in San Francisco, and that the people in the stadium could witness it over the skyline. And coincidentally, there's a movie entitled Skyline about an alien disclosure event. Number three is a North Korean ICBM missile strike. This could target the cross-border Mexican station in Tijuana. It could target the Bundy Ranch outside of Las Vegas. It could target the Keaton Island in outside of Seattle, or the Morehouse Wildlife Center in Oregon, all of which have had major events happen at those locations. It could also target Calabasas, where Kobe Bryant was murdered in a helicopter crash. So they have different sites which they've chosen where they've inserted tens of thousands of pounds or tons of liquid nitroglycerin, which is the single most explosive compound on Earth, and then they shoot a missile from Elon Musk's SpaceX, and then it'd come down and hit this location. There'd be a massive eruption, and they say it's a nuclear bomb from Korea. Number 4 is a Chinese nuclear warhead-laden soaring dragon drone strike targeting the USS George Washington, which is anchored in a bay, I forget the name, right off the coast of Japan, where its home port is actually in Japan. Obviously, that would trigger World War III. Number 5 is a Russian ICBM strike targeting a Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach, Florida, specifically to assassinate U.S. President Donald J. Trump and trigger the mutually assured destruction scenario. Number 6 is a or Epstein backlash-based United States Armed Forces or retired United States military-based special forces attack targeting Washington, D.C., likely the White House or the United States Capitol building. This is likely going to be executed by Israeli special forces and then subsequently blamed on American soldiers. So likely kill a bunch of soldiers and then claim that they had committed this attack. This will obviously trigger martial law and the deployment of the National Guard. And then they'll claim that the entire government is filled with pedophiles because Donald J. Trump, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Howard Lutnick, and many others were just named in the Epstein file released back on January 30th. Number 7 is a Russian cyber attack, the uploading of some sort of computer worm targeting Microsoft Windows and Microsoft Windows applications as pretext for a economic crash, which is designed to trigger World War III. Number 8 is they plan, there's been all these rumors about what ICE is going to do during the Super Bowl, and it is my belief that ICE is going to stage a high-profile arrest either inside the game or in Oakland, where there's previously been riots as well as Black Panthers related activity. San Francisco, Portland, Seattle, Los Angeles, Minneapolis, those are the most likely, but there's going to be a high profile arrest, possibly of a celebrity, possibly of an athlete, and this is designed to spark an escalating wave of agent provocateur based riot attacks targeting California or other states, and it's designed to spark wildfires across the state, especially California. Okay, number 9 is a joint Chinese, Iranian, and Russian Gulfstream jet-borne 9/11 style nuclear terror attack targeting One World Trade Center, i.e. the Freedom Tower in New York City. This building was specifically built after 9/11, and this is in the basement of this building is probably, I would just guess, I'm not into physics, and so it's hard for me to conceptualize the amount, but it's enough amount to blow up New York City. And this is liquid nitroglycerin, the single most explosive compound on Earth, and just a capful of it is extremely deadly, and so they likely have tons of it, probably 10,000 tons beneath the surface of this building. Number 10 is a Chinese Red Dawn attack. So this evening is going to be the Super Bowl in Santa Clara outside of San Francisco, and they plan on dumping 500, 1,000, 5,000 alleged Chinese paratroopers committing an airborne assault on the stadium. Obviously, this will trigger a mass panic, and it will obviously be designed to trigger World War III. And these are likely going to be Israeli special forces from their paratrooper division. And then they'll produce a number of dead Chinese people, probably from the crowd, or they'll dress them up in Chinese uniforms, and they've already placed them in and around the location, or they'll drop them from the planes, but they're going to stage it. There's also the possibility that they could use troops from Taiwan in this attack as well, because nobody can tell the difference between a Taiwanese soldier or a Chinese soldier, and they've tried this scenario in various forms previously. And then last but not least, on the heels of the attack on Lindsey Vonn today at the Olympics. They shattered her leg with a direct energy weapon, which they hit her with it, which caused her to crash, and then they destroyed her leg. Essentially, she's in surgery right now. Hopefully she's going to be all right. But we've seen this increasingly. CIA is targeting athletes with these direct energy weapons, and we know that they're going to kill somebody during a football game. I've said it on record, I'm going to say it again. They've already killed a couple players, not directly, but they paralyzed them and then they had early deaths. Mike Utley of Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving. So we know that this is coming, and it's highly likely, virtually certain, that they're going to do it today. And they're most likely going to target Kenneth Walker III, which is a running back for the Seattle Seahawks, or Drake May or Stephon Diggs of the quarterback, Drake May of the New England Patriots, or Stephon Diggs, whose girlfriend Cardi B is going to be at the game. And so they'll likely paralyze them. They'll likely take out their knees. Sam Darnold is another, the quarterback of the Seahawks. They may injure him. So we're talking about ACLs, MCLs, bone breaks, paralyzation, and even death, and concussions as well. So this is what they do. So they want to, depending on who bets on what during this game, they're going to knock out opposing players. And just based off the history, the recent history of the Seattle Seahawks, they already knocked out their top running back. They had a two-headed backfield with the aforementioned Kenneth Walker, and then they have a guy named Charbonneau. He suffered a season-ending knee injury, and then another Seahawk was just injured in practice leading up to this game. So the CIA tends to stage these attacks in clusters, and so some sort of horrific event targeting one or more players during this game is expected. There's also the possibility that the CIA will target celebrities in the stands, possibly using a direct energy weapon, which could cause a collapse in the stadium or trigger a mass panic, some sort of shooting or grenade attack or domestic terror attack. But some sort of event, terror-related event, is planned during this game. And aside from the aforementioned nuclear terror plot targeting the Super Bowl XLV in Dallas, Texas, back on February 6th of 2011, the CIA released a movie in 1977, I believe, entitled Black Sunday, about a blimp by Palestinian terrorists floating into the Super Bowl, bombing the Super Bowl. So the notion to attack the Super Bowl has been a part of the CIA plot with Hollywood for over 50 years. So, because this is the 60th Super Bowl. So since its inception, and this goes back to Rome, where they always staged terror attacks during the games at the Colosseum. So whether it's a celebrity death, whether it's a mass shooting, whether it's a riot attack, whether it's a nuclear attack, whether it's World War III. And I should mention really quickly, over the last 2 weeks, I've published multiple videos and multiple reports about an impending NATO-Russo war and U.S.-Iran or Israel-Iran war. And so, given the aforementioned plots that I've detailed here, it's likely, highly likely, virtually certain that the CIA is going to resort to their bread and butter, which is Islamic terrorism, and that they're going to stage some sort of action by Israel attacking Iran, or Iran attacking Israel and or other Middle Eastern neighbors, possibly U.S. military bases in the Middle East, or Carrier Strike Force 3, led by the USS Abraham Lincoln, which is currently sailing in the Arabian Sea. So some sort of action is expected during this game. This is Switzerland ordering Netanyahu and Ali Khamenei to execute these events. This is not organic, this is not natural, this is all being orchestrated out of Switzerland, the first Jewish state, and they are going to try to trigger World War III during the live broadcast of this game. And so some sort of heinous attack, possibly featuring 9/11 style kamikaze suicide drone bombing attacks, ballistic missile strikes, cruise missile strikes, dirty bomb attacks, rocket attacks, or some sort of 9/11 style nuclear terror attacks, or something. But what's imperative to note here is that if they stage an attack on the morning of the 9th. It's going to be CBRN in nature. That's chemical, biological, radiological, or nuclear in nature. And I should also mention that this attack on the morning of the 9th in Iran or Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu became president on December 29th of 2022, and today is 2/9. Tomorrow will be 2/9, and this is what's called reflected numerology, and that is because the number 29, the number 2 symbolically equates to a Z, which is the 26th letter in the English alphabet, which is an acronym for Zionism. And so 2/1, 2/9, because the 9 doubles as 1, is Z, as in the letter Z. And so this is, they always do stuff on 26 and 29 and 21. Anyways, so if any of the aforementioned events transpire, if the Super Bowl is anything but peaceful, I would kindly ask that you download this video and share it with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets. Praying for a peaceful Super Bowl. Peace.